Today we're making a personal favorite of mine, barbecue beef sliders. We'll start by prepping a little seasoning by combining 1.5 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of mustard, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, salt and pepper to taste, or about half a teaspoon each. And while I give that a good whisking, hit like and subscribe for more halal recipes. Don't forget to check the description for a discount code at mitamarhalal.com. Now that our seasoning is mixed, we'll move on to the meat and veg. Starting with the veg, we'll cut an onion into eighths, remove the root end, and set aside. Now we'll take 2 beautiful halal beef chuck roasts from mitamarhalal.com and cut them into chunks about half the size of your fist. This doesn't need to be extremely precise. Make sure you cut out some of the fat as you prepare your chunks. Once your beef is all chunked, we'll season it with our spice mix. First, reserve 2 tablespoons of seasoning, then pour the rest on the beef. Mix that up until the meat has absorbed all the seasoning. Pour that into a large slow cooker and cover with your favorite barbecue sauce. I used a honey barbecue for ours. Then we'll add in 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and 1 cup of water. Mix it all up, then place your onions throughout the pot. We'll cover and cook that for about 7 to 8 hours on high heat. You can't have a cookout without the fixins. We're starting our potato salad by bringing in 5 pounds of peeled potatoes and cutting them into small bite-sized pieces. After cutting potatoes for about 20 minutes, I realized the fastest way to dice these is to cut them into 4 thin layers, then cutting those into 4 or 5 thin strips, then cutting one more time to make little diced potatoes. If you got a better way to cut potatoes, please let me know in the comments below. I really would love to save some time here. Next, we'll prep a head of celery by removing the root end, cutting off the leafy bits, carefully cut the celery into 3 or 4 strips depending on the size, and then dicing into small pieces. I prefer my celery to be very tiny, so if you want yours bigger, skip the vertical cuts entirely. Now we'll quickly prep some green onions. Give those a nice slicing, toss them into the bowl with the celery, and move along to chopping up some pickles. You could use relish instead for speed, but I find that the texture is better if you use fresh chopped pickles instead. Set those aside for now. Hard boil some eggs for about 10 to 12 minutes. Remove those with a slotted spoon and place directly into an ice bath. Once those have cooled, we'll crack them with a knife or some other hard object, peel the shell off, then we'll dice those up. Now we'll boil potatoes until they're slightly tender but still sort of firm. This will give our potato salad a nice creaminess while maintaining some potatoes for texture. Finally, in the biggest mixing bowl you have, combine potatoes, eggs, pickles, 1.5 cups of mayo, 1/4 cup of mustard, the celery and green onions, and then we mix it all up. Now season with salt and pepper and mix it up again and give it a taste. I ended up adding more salt, pepper, mustard, and pickles to mine. Make sure you taste this as you go so you don't over season it, but once it's tasting good, cover and refrigerate. Finally, we get back to the meat. Once the beef is fork tender, remove it and the onions from the juice to a mixing bowl and shred with forks. Season with the remaining barbecue seasoning, salt, and more barbecue sauce, then we'll mix that up, give it a taste, and as always, add more seasonings to your taste. If all you wanted was some pulled beef, you can stop here, but if not, it's sandwich time. We'll start by slicing a 24-pack of rolls in half with a bread knife or a serrated blade. Evenly layer the beef, but don't worry about stacking it too high. Top the beef with some crispy French fried onions. Lay out 6 or 7 slices of cheese. Make sure you cover all the beef with the cheese, no beef left behind. Top with the other side of the buns, then baste with some melted butter and parsley. Bake that at 350 for 10 minutes or until the tops are looking golden brown, and that's it. These sliders take a long time to make in the crock pot, but they're so good, and the homemade potato salad is a perfect side that brings a nice refreshing crunch to the rich flavors of the beef. What do you think of this recipe? Let us know in the comments, and I'll see you next week with another tasty halal recipe.